Hi guys, it's Jamie here from InstaChef123. It's a beautiful day, so there's only one thing for it. We're going to make Persian kebabs. The ingredients you're going to need is 500 grams of basmati rice, 1 kilo of chicken, 150 mils of olive oil, 2 lemons, 12 tomatoes, 3 mixed peppers, choose whichever colours you want, it's all fine, a large onion, a small onion, 2 cloves of garlic and a tablespoon of turmeric. So let's make the marinade for our chicken. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the onion just into small pieces. Take the skin off, like so. You can get the skin off. And I'm just going to cut this into small pieces. Get the skin out of the way. And then I'm just going to pop it into a jug. Standard mixing jug, plastic mixing jug. Chop the onion, pop that into the jug. Same with the garlic. Take the skin off. And all I'm going to do with this is give it a smash. Skin will come off, like so. Give it a rough chop. And that goes into the mixing jug as well. Oh, a bit more of a whack. Little rough chop, like so, in to our mixing bowl. Okay, to this we're going to put the olive oil, and use extra virgin olive oil for this dish. Don't use the cooking olive oil, just use the extra virgin olive oil. I've gone ahead and I squeezed my lemons, so there's 2 lemons squeezed in there. And that goes in there as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a hand blender to blitz this, like so. If you don't have a hand blender, what you can do is you can use a grater, like so, and you can just grate your onion and your garlic if you don't have a hand blender. You can use a normal blender or a hand blender. Hand blender's better. Okay, so we've blended that up. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the turmeric, just like so. And we're going to give this a really good mix, just like that. So mix that turmeric in really, really well until it's all mixed in, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to set that aside and prep the chicken. A kilo of chicken breast here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into about 1-inch squares. So we're just going to cut this into 1-inch squares and pop it in our bowl, like so. You want your pieces to be about this size. So we're going to go ahead and cut the rest of the chicken. So, chicken's all cut. Now what we're going to do is add the marinade, but we're going to add about 2/3 of this marinade to the chicken because I want to keep 1/3 of this marinade for doing the veggies and for basting it while the chicken is cooking. So pour that in, about 2/3 of the marinade in like that. And then we're just going to keep the rest to the side. And then just mix in your chicken to the marinade, like this. Mix it all good. And then what we're going to do with that is cover it and refrigerate this for about 6 hours. While the meat is marinating, we're going to prep our vegetables. And just like the meat, we're going to cut these into inch squares. Nice squares. When your onions and peppers are prepared, put them aside, and then what we're going to do is move on to prepping the rice. As you can see, I've separated the onions and the peppers, which will make it easier when we're threading our kebabs. So what kind of rice are we going to make for this dish? Well, we're going to make a Persian butter rice with this dish. Absolutely beautiful. Might not be the healthiest of things, but hey, it's so tasty and so simple to do. It's fantastic. Let's see how we're going to prep this rice first for cooking. In order to get this rice absolutely beautiful, we need to wash it first. So I'm going to use a mixture of hot and cold water, just nice lukewarm water, and we're going to wash this rice a good couple of times. Perfect, so just drain that off. Don't worry if there's a little bit of water left in there. Drain that off, set that aside. Next, what you want to do is you want to get a large pan, fill it with water and bring it to the boil. We're also going to add to this 1 teaspoon of salt into our water. I'm just using pink Himalayan. Use whatever salt you want, but we want that salty water and we want to bring that to the boil. For the rice, we're also going to be using butter, as I previously mentioned, and what we need is about 125 grams. So just pop your knife in the middle just to give you an edge, and then we're just going to slice this into a few pieces. This is going to go on the bottom of the pan, and then the other sections are going to go in the rice itself. And then with these other pieces, just cut them into like little fingers. Water's boiling now. We're going to add in our rice, like so. Got all that rice in there. Pop that in to your boiling water. Now it's very important when you're cooking rice like this to stir all the time. Gentle stir. And what we're going to do with this rice is we're going to cook it until it's al dente. Just keep stirring and keep stirring. Our rice has been boiling now for about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm just going to test the grain just to see if it's al dente. So about another minute. It is al dente but not quite there. So about another minute on the rice, and then we're going to drain it. As we transfer the pan back onto the heat, leave your rice to steam in the sink. Pan is on the heat. Go in with 3 of the big pieces of the rice, of butter, and start to melt this butter. What I am going to do is just put a tiny drop of rapeseed oil in there as well at the bottom, just so the butter doesn't really burn. Right, butter's melting in there. Take our rice and put the rice in, spread it out like this. Put the rice in, spread it out. Put the rice in, keep spreading it out. Starting to crackle a bit, we turn down the heat. We get all of that rice in, like so. Then with your spoon, make a few holes, like so. And then with the sticks of butter, I'm going to go in. You'll start to hear that crackle. That's fine, don't worry about it. Then we're going to go on with the lid, and then we're going to transfer this to a low heat. Like that. Then we're going to leave that for about 25 minutes. Our rice has been cooking for 25 minutes. I'm just going to remove the lid. I'm just going to check the bottom, and you can hear the crisp. That's great. Pop the lid back on, turn the heat off, and then just leave that until you're ready to serve. Right guys, we're back, so we're going to start preparing the skewers now. So all we're going to do is we're going to start by threading like pepper. Take our chicken, just like that, just thread it through. Some onion, some more pepper, and just build your kebabs up like this. Right, so once my kebabs are all threaded, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over these, like this. There we go. Turn them over. There we go, turn them over. And again, just a sprinkle of salt on there. Lovely. And if you've got any left, any peppers and onions left, just pop them on a different skewer, and you can roast those up as well. We've got our fire going now. Fantastic. And then we're going to roast these tomatoes. Yeah, we're going to roast those. And then I'm going to show you how we make the sauce. Right, so tomatoes are roasting on there, and what I've done is in the pan here I've put 4 tablespoons of the marinade, but I'm going to pop this pan onto here as well to start this marinade off. Because you've got onion and garlic and oil in there, that's just going to fry up, and then we're going to transfer the tomatoes into that pan. Then we're just going to pick some of the skin off. Okay, so as we start to cook these tomatoes down, just going to pick a little bit more of the skins off like that. As you can see, come off like that. We'll just throw those back onto the fire. Then what you want to do is you want to squash them a bit like this. Squash them and get some big bits of skin. Pull them off. Like that, then squash them. I'm going to go in with about 250 mils of water. Just like that. And then we're just going to let them stew. Right, let's get our kebabs on. The kebabs, as you can see, they're getting a nice char on them. You want to keep cooking these slowly. Now, here I've got some of the reserve marinade that were left over. I'm simply just going to brush the kebabs with this marinade just to keep them nice and juicy. So we're finishing the sauce off. I'm just bringing it to the boil and I'm just going to reduce this sauce down. And what I've added into here as well is I've just added half a teaspoon of salt in there, just for flavour. Right guys, it's time to plate up. There's my rice. As you can see, some lovely crispy bits there, which everyone fights over, by the way. We're going to pop on our kebab like that. Nice generous portion. And then we're going to put some of this lovely sauce just on the side there, just like that. And there you have it, my take on Persian kebabs with rice and tomato sauce. So if you like this video and any other videos on my channel, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and when I've got some new recipes on, you'll be the first to know.